So I've kind of got on board with Seth freaking Rollins, but I don't think I will ever, there is not enough money in the world to make me get behind dirty Dominik Mysterio. Why? Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about NXT. In particular, we are talking about Dominik Mysterio being NXT North American Championship. Is it good or is it terrible? But before we dive into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below on the controversial title win from Dominik Mysterio. So on last night's NXT, Dominik Mysterio picked up the win over Wes Lee with interference from the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley clocked Wes Lee with her Women's Championship belt. Dominik got the pin and he is the new North American Champion. And there's a bit of a divide between this. Some people love it, some people hate it. Now why do people think this? I'm going to go on the fact that if you actually look back at the lineage of the NXT North American Championship, it is a stacked old boy. The likes of Adam Cole, Bronson Reed, Isaiah Swerve Scott, aka Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano. There's a lot of names and prestige to that belt, and to have it snatched away, particularly a title reign such as Wes Lee's, where he is the longest reigning NXT North American Champion, is gonna pickle a few fishes. I don't think that's a phrase, but I'm gonna keep it in anyway. So where are we going with this? I think that's ultimately what you've got to look at this situation with. This wasn't done to shake things up, for instance. I think this is purely done to fuel the bloodline story that is going on Raw. I think they needed a championship belt for Dom so that Finn can be the only person without a belt, and you're a bit stuck for what belt you can give Dominik Mysterio. He's not exactly going to beat Austin Theory. That seems like it's earmarked for LA Knight. He's not going to beat Gunther. That's definitely not happening. He's not beating Seth because that's lined up for Finn. So what belt can you give him? NXT North American Championship. There you go. There you have it. You have Priest, Ripley, and Mysterio all holding belts, while Finn is the outlier. And that's probably leading to the eventual split. I think Finn probably loses his match at SummerSlam. And then the Judgment Day turn. They think, why do we need you around? You are the loser of this group. And then you get a babyface Finn going up against heel Judgment Day, almost like the Edge story. And I think this is good for the Judgment Day. I don't think this is necessarily great for NXT. So we'll dive into each one now, because I think this is great for the Judgment Day because it adds a lot of flavour to the story. I would like to see JD McDonough rejoin the group, replacing Finn Balor, being a new leader, really cement JD McDonough as a star, because he is the best. He is a fantastic wrestler, fantastic promo. I love JD McDonough. And I think him coming in as the new protege and then maybe having conflict with Finn trying to get him out of the group. It was reported, I think, potentially today or maybe last night, that the Judgment Day is the post-Bloodline story that WWE wants to focus on and make it their big thing. The Judgment Day being this new infighting group, which I think could work, and using the North American Championship for that is nothing but, good. Essentially, it gets more eyes on NXT, and we have, shenanigans with the group. We have infighting created by these titles. That is a way to use titles rather than just making them feel like a prop. Where I think this falls down for NXT is purely just in terms of wrestling. Wes Lee was incredible, and I think he deserved a little bit better of a loss after the reign that he's had. I think he deserved a really strong story, because I don't think it's necessarily been the best story told in terms of NXT, and having just a random loss essentially on an episode of NXT due to shenanigans isn't the best way for him to go out. I think he deserved a stronger way to end the reign and really cement himself as the staple North American champion, because a lot of the other ones have gone to AEW. They need a face for the North American Championship. It could be Wes Lee, but he's ending on a bit of a whimper, which is a shame. He deserved a lot better than that. He deserved like a banger with like Dijak or with Bron Breakker or something like that really catapults Wes Lee's reign over the edge and doesn't make it feel like it's gone out with a damp squib. So that's the two sides of the argument. Where do I fall on this? I actually fall on the side that I think this is good. I think this should work really well for the story that they are telling with the Judgment Day. Now we've noticed that WWE like to zig when we expect them to zag. They've taken that option. They don't always go with the not the correct route, the obvious route. That was the word I was looking for. They instead swerve us a little bit, and having this be a big swerve as Dom is the champion, I think that could, be really fun. And I think having him on NXT could also be fun. There's a lot of guys I'd love to see Dominik Mysterio paired up with, like a Dijak, like a Dragunov, like a Bron Breakker. Putting him in there with these huge, hard-hitting pieces of meat could be really funny and entertaining television as he just tries to, scooch out of the way of these challenges. So I think it will work in that regard. And I'm excited to see where they go with this. I don't think it's a home run, but you're like, what's his name? Carson Candy from Django Unchained. You got my attention. You got my attention with this swerve. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I don't really have any other thoughts, but I wanted to talk about this because I think it's one of the most intriguing pieces of booking that I've seen in a while. And it's just fun. I love Dominik Mysterio. I really, really do. I think his shenanigans are the funniest nonsense. So I'm happy to see he finally has a championship. But we'll draw this to a close. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below and stay tuned for my review of AEW Blood and Guts, which will be up tomorrow. Thank you all ever so much for your support and have a nice day.